Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to focus on how not to kill your orchids. Some species of orchids may require more specific care than others. Generally though, you can use 8 methods to prevent killing your orchids. These tips will likely apply when caring for any plant, whether it's a begonia or a tulip. Tip number 1. Excess direct sunlight will quickly kill your orchids. Of course, sunlight itself is not harmful for orchids, but you must be certain that the sunlight is shaded. If you are using artificial light, shade it also. Shaded artificial light shouldn't shine upon your orchids for 24 hours. You will need to determine the maximum times depending on your orchid genus. Tip number 2. Long durations of dry soil will kill your orchids. These conditions are detrimental to any plant, except cactuses. However, the soil for some orchid varieties must be dry before you again water the soil. Nonetheless, as soon as you determine the soil's dryness, saturate the soil. You should daily check these particular orchids. Tip number 3. Dusty leaves will kill your orchids. Orchids get most of their nutrients through osmosis via their leaves. Therefore, if dust is preventing absorption of humidity, your orchids will suffer. You can remove the dust from your orchid's leaves by using a water-filled syringe. Tip number 4. Insufficient air circulation will kill your orchids. Do not place your orchids flush with walls, windows, etc. Air must circulate on all sides of your orchids. Tip number 5. Excessive low temperatures will kill your orchids. To prevent sudden drops in temperature, for example, when day turns into night and the sun sets. If your orchids are near windows, place insulating material over the window's glass. Gradual drops in temperature to a certain point may not harm some orchid varieties. Tip number 6. Excess fertilizer will kill your orchids. I discovered that you should weekly apply fertilizer that has weak concentrations. In winter, reduce fertilizer applications. In summer, increase fertilizer applications. Tip number 7. Unsuitable pots will kill your orchids. Orchids need air and water penetration in their soil. Therefore, if your pot becomes too small for a grounding orchid, move the orchid to a larger pot. In addition, soil in clay pots dry too quickly. Plastic pots are better for growing orchids. Tip number 8. Insects will kill your orchids. All kinds of bugs will eat away your orchid's leaves. The removal methods for these pests depend on the insect type. There, I've covered the 8 most crucial points in keeping your orchids alive. Make good use of these tips, and until next time, bye.